Zidane Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. In today's video, we are going to be talking again about Miraculous, but more specifically, we are going to be talking about a previous holder of a Miraculous, specifically King Arthur of Camelot. Now, why exactly am I doing this video? Well, the simple answer is the fact that, well, I recently watched Cursed on Netflix, and I really loved the show. And even though it's not really a show that most of my audience should be watching, it's still a good show. And because of the fact that it's about Arthur and the Lady of the Lake, I thought I would do something a little bit about what miraculous Arthur would have, as well as Merlin. Now, the main reason that I'm not going to be focusing on all of the Knights of the Round Table is because there are simply too many of them. Now, obviously, likely if they actually did reveal that there was a time when Merlin was a guardian of the miraculous, which he likely was, those miraculouses would have been passed around from whatever box that they would have been coming from to a lot of the different people. But choosing a miraculous box for this group is honestly challenging. Knowing the fact that there are really not that many miraculous boxes leads me to wonder what exactly would have been the perfect box for them. And since we don't really know much about any of the boxes except for the Chinese miraculous box, we're simply just going to have to focus on that one. One other thing is that I do believe that Morgana would have received a miraculous. However, because of the fact that I simply don't know as much about Morgana lore in comparison to Merlin and Arthur, I can't really go into too much discussion about them. There's a lot that goes into that, and it's tricky. It's honestly really tricky. And like I said, there are about 51. If you look on the Wikipedia article, there are 51 listed members of the Knights of the Round Table, and that's including Arthur. So yeah, it's honestly just going to take way too long to go over all of them. While likely some of them would have actually just used a miraculous that was connected to their coat of arms, such as Aglovale using a lion miraculous. We honestly don't know enough about them to actually go into details, sadly. So instead, like I said, we're only going to be focusing on Merlin and Arthur, which is actually a bit of a false statement as well, because of the fact that both of them would have likely used the exact same miraculous. Merlin is extremely important in almost every version of the Arthur mythos. Or, yeah, the Camelot mythos, I guess, would be the proper term. As many of you guys should know, Merlin is a very powerful wizard, and like I said, he was likely the guardian of the miraculous box, whichever one was actually there. But knowing exactly what his miraculous box is very tricky. Due to the fact that he is likely a wizard, he would have likely used a miraculous before meeting Arthur that had more elemental based abilities, likely being something similar to the Dragon Miraculous, which I still believe that the Dragon Miraculous would have been what would have been passed on to Arthur from Merlin. Now, obviously, they could use a different Miraculous box, but we're not going into that right now. We're just going to use the Dragon Miraculous because that is the most likely option. Now, why exactly is this the most likely option? Well, a few things. One, it's the Dragon Miraculous, and Arthur's full name is Arthur Pendragon. So, I mean, dragon's in the name. I mean, unless he's getting the white dragon or the black dragon from the Greek Miraculous boxes, I doubt he's actually going to get any other Miraculous box. So, yeah. Likely, Arthur used the Dragon Miraculous from the Chinese Miraculous box. Now, the powers of the Dragon Miraculous is actually the most open one that we have. We know that there are three powers for this Miraculous box: water, wind, and lightning. Or at least that's what we assume the third one is, because right now we don't really have any solid proof that that's actually what the final power is, except for the symbol looks like it would be something along the lines of electric. But because of the fact that we have the Wind Dragon, that honestly makes me wonder if that's actually going to be the case, or if instead we're going to be getting an Earth Dragon as the final Miraculous box, or the final power of that Miraculous. The Water Dragon is the easy one, the Lady of the Lake. One of the most important ways that Arthur can get Excalibur. The Lady of the Lake gives Excalibur to Arthur to save the world and bring the world together. The second, and the reason why I said that possibly the electric is actually a stone, is because of the sword in the stone. Again, another likely way that Arthur would have gained the miraculous. Or in mythos, that's one of the two ways that he could have gained the miraculous in general. Or he would have gained Excalibur. Excalibur gets pulled out of the stone, and he continues to go and defend the city and the world, basically. Now, like I said, Merlin was likely the first guardian of he was the guardian of this miraculous box. And what I think happened is actually a bit more worse than you might think. I'm actually going to start this story off with Morgana. Morgana likely was training under Merlin and stole the miraculous box. More accurately, she tried to steal the miraculous box, but when Merlin and her were fighting, she commanded one of the miraculouses, and so did he. The two got into the fight, and the miraculous box was possibly destroyed, sending all of the miraculouses flying, being spread out throughout the lands, eventually being found by several different people, thanks to just good luck, I guess. These miraculouses would have been passed on to certain knights who would eventually become the Knights of the Round Table. The first, I guess, 12? No, it would have been 17. So the first 17. Meaning that the only ones that are still remaining are the Dragon Miraculous, which Merlin has, and the other, and the whatever miraculous Morgana has. Some obviously would have headed towards evil people, who Morgana tricked and caused them to join her group. Merlin eventually would find Arthur, give him the miraculous because of the fact that he has a good heart, likely giving him the same reasoning as why Marinette gained the Ladybug Miraculous. Because of the fact that she had a good heart, Merlin saw this in Arthur and chose to give him the Dragon Miraculous. Merlin would then go on to help him, basically help Arthur. He taught him all of the different skills that he would need in order to activate the different powers of the Miraculouses. And the two of them would go out across the lands to gather up the Miraculouses. While doing so, they would fight off a lot of bad guys, likely meaning that Morgana would have received either the Butterfly Miraculous or the Peacock Miraculous, releasing tons of monsters out into the world, and Merlin and Arthur would be forced to fight them, alongside with the other keepers of the Miraculouses. As they journeyed across the lands, people misunderstood what was going on. They saw Excalibur, the sword that great King Arthur was using, and while he was saving them, he was also unifying them. Eventually, after gaining all of these Miraculouses back as the Knights of the Round Table, they actually formed the Knights of the Round Table, forging for themselves new swords to actually keep the peace. Arthur became king, but in return, he gave up all of the Miraculouses back to Merlin. Merlin would then go off and return them to the full Guardians list, leaving Arthur to basically become the king of Britain, saving basically the entire world. It remains to be seen exactly how this would come to play, but I honestly feel like this is what happened. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe Thomas Ostruck will say, yeah, that can work. That can work, whatever. That's cool. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and ring that notification bell. Let me know your thoughts and theories down in the comments below. If you are going to leave a theory, make sure to say theory review somewhere in your comment. And of course, like I said, if you want to support, if you're new, please subscribe and ring that notification bell. And if you want to support the channel even more, then definitely head down to the description and check out all of our links down there, just like our current Patreon, Sheeny. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja, and I'll see you guys next time. But on.